It is officially 2025, and if you're watching this, Happy New Year. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that this year is a turning point for you that allows you to reconnect with your inner self, truly embody its expression, and become that higher version of yourself that you have the potential to be. Wishing you all the love, all the happiness, and yeah, I just hope it's a great fucking year for you. Hopefully, you've been doing some reflections and intention setting and some goal setting for whatever you want to do this year. And I really wanted to record this video on day one, like on Jan 1st, where I live, and then upload it the same day instead of recording it like a day or two before, because easily I could have done that and said the same things because I had some talking points that I wrote down from my reflections. But I was like, nah, I really want this to be like my mindset to be like, yo, this is the new year, like it's 2025. I usually, on the note of goal setting, I usually set realistic goals and almost always end up accomplishing most of them in some capacity. And sometimes it just plays out in the most unexpected ways possible, bro. Like last year, 2024, I set the goal like I want to live in a new city, and I got to live in Sweden, a completely different country, after I left my job in May of 2024. And following that, then I moved to another city. Well, I moved to a town to start grad school. But looking back at that goal, I'm like, I would not have imagined that playing out that way at that time, and that unexpectedness of how goals play out is such a fascinating thing to me. But usually though, overall, like, my goals are realistic. It's like things that you can actually accomplish, and that's because that's what I've learned from school. That's what I learned from YouTube, from being on the self-improvement journey in the past 6+ years. And this year I want to try something completely different and exciting, and hopefully maybe you can do the same, because this is stemming from my recent journey in 2024. My spiritual journey specifically has had a significant shift in an upwards direction, of course, like just growth wise, this past year specifically, because of all the diverse experiences, like leaving my old job, moving to a new city, moving to a new country, then leaving that place, like doing the different research projects, starting grad school, finishing first semester of grad school, while also working on a ton of other side projects for myself. Like, now my spiritual journey has had a significant shift, and it's led to the union of this inner divine feminine and masculine that I'm just like, I'm really looking forward to putting this into practice, and I'm really excited to share that journey with everyone as well. Everyone, including my future self, of course. But what does this look like? What do I really mean here? It means that I will set myself some really unrealistic or extreme goals, and I will employ discipline to work on those goals. But at the same time, I will surrender and let go of any control or expectations on the outcome or how that goal is going to play out, how that process is going to play out. Like, I'll put in the fucking work, but I will trust that no matter how things play out, it will all lead me down to the path. It will lead me to the skills that I'm meant to encounter and I'm meant to learn, that's going to prepare me for what's about to come ahead in the next few years. Like, this is another year where I see as this is another year that's going to be a foundational base, but it's also going to be a turning point that's going to propel me into crazy directions. Like, I already feel it. I know this year is going to be crazy good for me, and hopefully for you as well. Hopefully you're feeling that same kind of energy shift, because internally I feel like I've evolved so much in the past year that with time, as those learnings are starting to settle in and become part of my natural vibrational frequency, I know for a fact, like, this year, or with time, the external reality is not gonna have any choice but to match what I'm feeling internally. So love, gratitude, abundance, that's the fucking theme of this year and life ahead, because that is our natural essence, really. And one thing I want to say on the goals is whether you make it to a goal or not, it really doesn't fucking matter, because it's about who you become in the process. Every time you set a goal, you have to embody a certain caliber of behavior or person, just a version of yourself that's higher than your current version in order to reach those goals, you know? And that's that's why the purpose, like David Goggins has said this, and it's something that stuck with me. The purpose never leaves you, because the purpose is you. And in my past, I've just chased, like I've sought after material things. I've sought after external validation. I've sought after getting good grades or doing certain things so I can get to the next level. But I think this year is different in that way, where I'm not just doing it to get to the next level, it's to become that person who has that, like that, it's to become that person that does it so naturally that it just comes to you, because that's just who you are. It's not about chasing something else that's outside of you, it's about becoming that person that you are internally, and then external reality will just match that. And hopefully this gives you an insight as to how I'm setting goals. And if you haven't set any unrealistic goals, perhaps you should consider just like, stop placing limitations on yourself as to physical bounds or financial bounds. Like, you don't have to worry about those things when you're setting goals, because you don't know how things are going to turn out. And that's why, in order to attract the unlimited, in order to have the abundance in your life that you want, you yourself have to feel unlimited and abundant internally first, because how else is life gonna give that to you? If you need something externally to make you feel internal abundance, then it's no, it's just not gonna flow. It's just gonna be a temporary thing, short-lived, and as soon as that external thing goes away, you're gonna go back to your default state, like your default setting, and your brain's gonna go back into the old patterns. Can make a separate video on all of this. If you'd want to see, let me know in the comments below. But also, on the topic of goals real quick, I just want to say, now I hope, okay, maybe you're not wondering, but if you're wondering what my goals are, sadly, I'm not going to be able to share that with you, because over the past few years specifically, being on the self-improvement journey, I've been absorbing some learnings, and one of the learnings that I've got from self-improvement YouTubers is not sharing your goals early on with other people. And I see a tremendous value in that, because because first I've witnessed this firsthand in my life. Like when I share goals with other people, a lot of the times they see doubt, bro. Like they're like, oh, how are you gonna do this though? How are you gonna do that? Maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. And I'm like, I've done that in the past, and it just creates more doubt. It creates more barriers to taking action. I'm not a fan. And the thing is that a lot of the times when people are responding to your goals, like they're responding from their experiences and their ceilings that they have in their mind. And you're like, I'm at a point where if someone tells me that I can't, like, if I tell them I want to do this and they're like, you can't do it, I'm like, nah, dude, like your ceiling is not my ceiling. And that's something that I want to continue to live by. And it's just a valuable skill. So yeah, I can make a separate video on the reasons why I'm not a fan of sharing goals with others. Let me know if you want to see it below. But the crux of it is, first, when you speak about your goals, when you haven't put in any work for them, you just get these fake dopamine hits in your brain that make you feel really good about the goal, but like you haven't even put in the fucking work for it. So like it's never gonna materialize into a reality if you're not working for it. But you're gonna continue to feel good about it because you're just speaking about it, which is, I think it's just like, it's not productive in any sort of sense. Secondly, external energy can throw you off. Like I said, like when you share something with someone, they're responding with their biases, their experiences, and even though, people who are close to you may have the intention to help, unknowingly they're doing the complete opposite by placing limitations on you and giving you their, like literally passing their own self-limiting beliefs onto you. And the thing is that we absorb other people's energies, and we, like, and we tend to listen to our close ones specifically, and our friends, families. So if you're someone who doesn't want the seeds of doubt to like seep in, perhaps consider just like start working on your goal. Don't tell anyone, and tell them when you've put in some sort of work for it, or you've actually created something, or you have an outcome that you want to share with people. I think that's the best way to be. I'm also someone who's like, I believe in actions and not just words, because words, dude, people can say shit and people lie. Like that's a human trait, and I've done that. I've done a fair share of that in the past myself. But something I live by now is like honesty is something that even if it hurts in the moment, it's got to be done. And the more honest I am with others, the more honest I am with myself. The more honest I am with myself, the more honest I am with others. So in any case, if I start lying to others or myself, it's just going to create that cycle of I'll hurt myself and others at the same time. And that's partially also. Wait, I forgot why I mentioned that part of. Actions and not words. And if people tell me that they want to work towards something, they want this or they want that, but then I see that they don't actually work for it. It's I don't know, dude. It's really difficult for me to not lose respect to some degree. But it goes for me too, like when I set a goal and I don't work for it, like that's how I know that there's something going on in me deeper that I'm not listening to, because if I set a goal, then I am gonna work for it, because it's a form of self-respect. You're following through on the commitments that you set out to do for yourself. Shit, we're 12 minutes into the video. But yeah, I think the crux is set yourself some nice goals. Oh, let me rephrase that. That was crazy. Set some nice goals, bruh. If you haven't done any intention setting and goal setting or reflections for 2025, please take the time to do so, bro. Like your future self is gonna thank you, like 100%. Like you're gonna be able to look back and you're gonna be like, damn, like I'm glad I started on this journey for myself. So definitely do that, and make sure that you also have you ask yourself, am I limiting myself because of certain barriers that are currently present in my life? Because the ideal the ideal way to go about this for me this year is to not have any limitations and just fucking dump whatever is in the brain, whatever is in the heart, and just put it on paper, and then continue to refine that, and then start actually working on those goals. Start small, but stick with it. Consistency is the game that we want to follow. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You don't need to do all your good habits on day one and then never do them again. Like that's not the point. That's not the point at all. And I've done that in the past too. So I've learned from my mistakes over the past 8+ years. I will wrap the video up here. If you made it this far into it, I just want to say I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and happy fucking New Year, yo. Like this could be the turning point for you. I hope you realize that, and I hope you put in the work to reconnect with your inner self and embody the highest version of yourself that I know and you have the potential to become. Anyways, I will catch you in the next one.